What's cracking, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Fatherless Fatherhood. And we have a doozy today. A doozy! What's a doozy, you say, Mr. 5050? And I'm saying this. Today is the inaugural video. Yes, the first ever video of a series I like to call Fatherless Fridays. I know that's a pretty sad title. Very sad title, but unfortunately, it's an appropriate title. So, and what it's going to entail, it's gonna be. I really just can't do this on Fridays, but I'm gonna try. I'm doing this exclusively for Friday, just for now. But let me tell you what these series of videos is going to be about. It's going to be about highlighting what happens in broken relationships and marriages when fathers aren't prepared, unfortunately, for divorces and breakup. That's my angle, guys. That's my niche. Trust me, let me explain something to you real quick. If there was a button, you know the kind of easy button, the red button? If there was a button I could press and every father knew exactly what I knew and how to maneuver so where they could secure their children, in my case, my three sons, my oldest two from a marriage, my youngest one from an unwed relationship, I was able to secure my oldest two from a divorce and was the primary parent when their mother had visitation. And my youngest one, I currently have on a 50-50 physical timeshare, equally, just as much as the mother, week-to-week timeshare with his mother. And guess what? He, just like my oldest two sons, are thriving. Okay? So again, I don't buy into the narrative of, two people that are broken have to stay together. No. As long as two parents get out of their feelings and put their energy into the child, and implement positive traits into the child will be fine. That's what I'm in. That's what I'm in the business of doing, because far too often, fathers aren't equipped with the knowledge to know how to move forward and maneuver and make missteps in the family law system, far as leaving the house, getting hit with a restraining order, all type of nonsense that you can learn from this platform to secure your timeshare, an equal timeshare with your child, your children, your sons, your daughters, your son and daughter, either way, in case the relationship fails, okay? This is not wishing your relationship failed. This is giving you insurance. You have life insurance. Why not have insurance on the timeshare of your children? They're important enough. So that's what this is about to highlight. So many of the fathers that are living great now with their wife or their significant other, because look, we all were there at one point in time. I was married for 10 years from the age of 19 to 29. Okay? We were all there with the rose petal sunglasses on when everything was great. But what happens are far too often fathers just don't know what to do when adversity hits. And that's when the legal system tag team partners up with the child's mother and bring you through the ringer. All right? And I don't want that to happen to you. Okay? And I'm not charging you for this information. This is the best information you're going to ever get in your life. All right? This is life-changing. So let's get into episode 1 of Fatherless Fridays. It's a sad episode, but the more it highlights and more it enlightens other fathers to be aware and to learn how to maneuver and avoid the pitfalls, it's a beneficial title. Okay? Trust me on that. All right, so let's get into it. I'm going to share with you a Facebook message, all right, with the individual. We were actually in how can I put this? In a particular group together, a fathers group, and I posted a post in there, and I'm gonna read you what the post is. The post is in red. I'm gonna read you what the actual post says first. The post says in red, the problem I have with fathers' rights is that too many people are begging the bully, the corrupt family law system, to stop bullying them and taking their lunch money. As men, since when has this ever worked, right? And I got a couple handfuls of responses and reactions from that post. Now, when I saw this, I saw a ha-ha reaction. So that kind of concerned me. Not concerned me as like I was mad about it, but I'm like, all right, well, let me see what was so funny about it, right? So I texted the individual and I asked why the haha react in my post out of curiosity. He said, I think you got the wrong person. My comment was linking what you said to the parental alienation subject. And then I sent him an actual picture of the post. And I let him know, I said, I'm not mad at you, bro. I'm just speaking, for clarification. And he said, oh, I commented too. I was laughing. It was a laughing emoji because nobody ever does anything to help. And let me stop right there. He is exactly right. So many people, it's like, when men talk about women and what they're supposed to do and men talking about what women, nobody's doing nothing. It's never solution based, okay? It's really time wasting practices if you ask me. And he made perfect sense. And I actually, I expressed a like on the comment, thumbs up. He says, I wish they would, but they'd be going up against $1 billion industry. And that hit home. He is 1,000% right. Gentlemen, understand that the child support industry and the family law system, all that is $1 billion industry. They get money off the backs of fathers and broken relationship, majority backs of fathers, because there are mothers that actually go through the system as well. But majority of the time, 75, 80% of the time, it's fathers. And guess what? They don't care if the mental anguish or the issues, they're going to get it in, get your money, and go to town on the fathers. So it is $1 billion industry, and they're not going to change it. So that's why, and I get it, so many fathers' rights advocates be like, oh, let's go change the laws. Let's go change the laws. That's not going to help anything. The laws are there for a reason. Listen, when they want to send troops to overseas, do they wait forever and a day to do it? No, to get it done. You know what I'm saying? Happens like that. Happens quicker than Thanos does that, doesn't it? Bam! Snaps a finger. So, begging for fairness and begging legislature, I'm not with that. Again, like I've always said, like that's my motto. I'm not in the business of begging the bully to stop taking your lunch money, because the family court system is the bully, and they're going to continue to take the lunch money every single day. So we might as well stop begging. Let's continue. So I said, after he said it's $1 billion industry, I said, very true, very true. I believe I have the answer to this fatherless society and single mother epidemic, though, to be honest, because that's my niche. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm gonna keep it a thou wow. Your boy got the answer here at Flawless Fatherhood. Yours truly, Mr. 50/50. Now look, I'm no genius and all this type of stuff. Trust me, but I've been through the ringer and I have experience. Let me tell you something. And I would have lost my sons, you know what I'm saying, if I didn't go through a terrible stepdad situation when I was younger. I didn't have my father, so I was fatherless. And I put in my soul when I was 10, 11 years old that I was not going to live without my kids. But had I lived a nice, prosperous life, I wouldn't have had that cemented in that type of that mindset. So, hey, let me tell you, out of the rough times I went through in childhood, I'm glad I went through it, to be honest. So it's wild, but I'm just keeping it 1,000. So he asked, what's the answer? As you can see, I kind of got rid of the icons and stuff for this name because this is for, for anonymity purposes. But he asked what the answer is. So I sent him the recent video I did of the end game, which is how to end the child support and fatherless crisis in America. You know what I'm saying? Very informative video. If you're interested, go to my channel, Flawless Fatherhood. I may put it in the description and in the comments for you can check it out. It's one of my most powerful videos. It's the truth of the matter. I'll be honest with you guys. It's really simple, but it's just something that they don't teach that they don't teach men. All right. So I sent it to him. So he actually checked it out. So I told him, I say, hey, listen, consider subscribing and join the platform if you find any validity in it. Listen, if you don't find any value in it, kick it to the curb. Kick it to the curb. So he said, I'll give it a watch later. I'll give it a watch, mate. Thank you. Keep it up. The good work. As you can tell, he says mate. He says certain things. So he's kind of, he's from overseas. I'm going to tell you something about this. Be honest with you. It's universal. This process is universal. You'll see what I'm saying as I keep going. So I said, tell him later, it's Thursday, so it's not today. So I said, thank you. Let me know what you think either way, please. He replied 15 minutes later, he replied, it's very good advice. The same advice is good for here in the UK. The problem is most people, here it is, most people will not look for the advice until it's already too late and the mother has taken the kids or changed the locks to the house. This is powerful. I didn't make him write that. Okay? This is reality, man. We have to get out of this mindset thinking that, oh, it can never happen. It can never, I'll be honest with you. Look here. I did it. Not in that facet, but I did it. I used to think, oh, these certain aspects of relationship, not the breakup part, but inside of the relationship, I didn't think that could ever happen to me. Okay? But guess what? They did happen to me. Certain aspects inside the relationships before the breakup. Oh, no, man, she could never do this to me like I would do. She's better than that. She's too innocent. That type of thing. Until enough of my wrongdoing and my youth end up coming back full circle. I'll let you figure it out like that. But we all have this, oh, it can never happen to me. Guys, please, I'm not wanting it to happen to you. I'm just asking you to be prepared. Have insurance. This is a business. Having a child is like a business. And that's the problem. Everybody else treats it like a business. Money's involved, finances and everything. Fathers are the only ones that don't take it like a business because we tend to get entitled and we shouldn't be that way. Preparation. Trust me, this is a powerful video. Please stick with me. So, he says, it's never too late. It's too late and the mother has already taken the kids and changed the lock. I press, target on that. The advice needs to be given. This is what he said. The advice, because I'm all in the purple, the blue, right? The advice needs to be given to dads at the point of childbirth. Which is very interesting, right? Because here's a tidbit I'm going to tell you. And which was in my video, and that's probably why he mentioned it. Let me tell you something, guys. You need this information if you're married or not. But here's the kicker. Especially my culture, 70% of children that are born out of wedlock. And I'm not sure what the other numbers are, but I'm sure they're just as high as well. Pretty high. Guys, let me tell you something. The cure for... Hold it. I'm gonna hold it. I'll tell you shortly. Hold on. I want to digress too much. So he says if this advice needs to be given, the advice needs to be given to dads at the point of birth. But I'm trying to give it to the fathers before they have a child and while things are going good with the child, so they can secure their timeshare in case the breakup happens. That way, he says, that way it can safeguard the relationships with their children. I press the heart emoji. See, that's what it's about. It's about safeguarding the timeshare, safeguarding the relationship. You don't want to be an every other weekend dad, do you? Do you want to be paying $800, $900 to $1,000 a month for child support and only seeing your child 2 days every 14 days? Every 2 weeks? 4 days a month? Is that what you want? No, you don't want that. All right? So listen, I'm not wishing ill will on a relationship. It's just about preparation. It's about having insurance in case things go bad. Trust me, this is going to be the best information you ever had in your life. Because so much we value, I ain't got no bread on me, right? But we value money. Oh, money, we hold it close to our heart. But we never think or never believe that we can lose our children. Let me tell you something, guys. I'm going to keep it 1,000, which is a lot of people ain't going to tell you this. At the point in time you climax into a woman, you are compromising your time with your child. Because the seed belongs to us, but once we release it and we put it in her body, now we we're subject to whatever happens. So we need to be prepared in case the relationship ends. Now, men that are going out there just putting stuff in, throwing it everywhere, they ain't gonna have no recourse because the woman ain't gonna have nothing to do with them. But for people that are in sound relationships, this information can definitely help you. Now, sticking on point. This is what he says. He says, I was ignorant. I believe people treated others as they wanted to be treated. I have been to court twice now, third time looming, and I haven't seen my boy in 2 years. That's terrible. That's terrible. Now I know a lot of you guys be like, oh, well, that could never happen to me. That could never happen to me. It could. It could have happened to me. It could have happened to your brother. It could happen to your cousin. All right? It can happen to your son. If you don't educate yourself and then educate him. All right? So let's keep moving. And that's just sad to not seeing your child in that long. He says, my ex was abusive and I had to escape. In reality, I should have called the police and told them what was happening. Now, this is powerful, right? This is powerful. Because I said exactly. Let me tell you something, guys. I've made other videos put out there, and I was like, hey, look, I've called the police on my ex-wife before. I've called the authorities. I protected myself. I did police escorts. I did all these things to make sure that I didn't get hit with a restraining order, to make sure some BS accusation couldn't hurt me and my timeshare and my kids. That's what you got to be. You can't walk around here and be like, oh, I don't need po-po. I don't need 12. I don't need one time. Whatever you call the police. You got to be, you got to set your ego aside and do what's right for your children. Okay? And let's be honest, man. Let's keep it. I'm sure y'all watching. Y'all know y'all lay to pick up stuff on y'all. Put their hands on you. But as much as we blow on them and blow their hair a little bit, oh God, you're so abusive. Oh, you're just so mean. I'm gonna press 911 and all that type of nonsense. So you gotta protect yourself. She put her hands on you. Use the same avenues they do in order to secure your children. I can't do that to my wife, man. Why? She gonna do it to you? You care more about her than you do care about your children. That's what you're telling me. That's what you're telling your children. You know how many fathers have sat back and I've read comments of people saying, many times she'd have put her hands on me and threw things at me. And one time I hold her back from hitting me and she called the cops. This is truth and reality. Oh, not my girlfriend, not my wife. Let's be real. Let's be real. I'm not saying it's happening, but if it does happen, you need to know what to do. All right? Because, listen, your child is your child. Your child's always going to be blood. Your wife isn't blood. Your husbands aren't blood. Two people that are married aren't blood. Now, I know the Bible, wherever child treat you as one and paramount. True, yes. But understand, your child, no matter if you're in good terms or bad terms, always going to be your child, always going to be blood. All right? So you got to secure that timeshare. So he says all the systems want is your savings, equity from your home, loans, and your future college and your kids' future college funds. They want all of it. The big wigs want all of it. Oh, and your mental health, he says. It's true. They don't care, man. Guess what? There's another father born every second. They're ready to gut them. They don't want people like me that want to be able to cure this single mother epidemic and fatherless crisis from the root. I'm not going to spray Orkin on the weeds, on the leaves. No, I'm going to get it at the root. So every father that's crossing that threshold to be a father, they're going to know what time of day it is. All right? That's how I make it happen. That's how it's going to have to happen. So I'm going to need you guys help to do it, to help share what time of day it is, to share this knowledge. Listen, I'm not advocating for your relationship to fail. I just want you to be prepared. Damn it, think about this, guys. I got stupid freaking shirts on. I got freaking cards, all type of nut. Look, man, I got freaking Flawless Fatherhood, freaking business cards that freaking help people. You think this is a game? No, it's not a game to me. I walk around and I hand these things out. Okay? And I'm not charging anybody. You know I ain't charging nothing. I want you guys to make sure you have your children life. Let me tell you what's going to happen. If you secure your children after breakups and divorce, you get equal parenting just as much as the mother, less child support you got to pay, the less mental anguish, the more your child will be able to grow up with both loving parents in their lives, not necessarily have to be in the same house. I know because my youngest son has a room of his own. So his room's nearly big as mine. And guess what? He's just as happy. But guess what? Me and his mom live 12 minutes away and co-parent week to week. I don't want to hear it can't work. It can work. So understand that. So he says, I took her to court twice and she somehow convinced the court that I'm an abuser despite video. And I say, yep, they're master but playing the victim role. Now, this is not every woman or just that. It's not every woman. We're talking general terms here and stuff like that. When things go bad, people don't play fair. I had my youngest child's mother. Guess what? She tried to lie in court. No proof, but wanted to lie in court and want to cry. I'm like, I didn't get emotional. I expected her to lie. I expected her to play victim. That's how they do. I mean, I still walked out with 50-50. To be honest with you, I had secured 50-50 before I even walked into court. I was going there for more time. We'll talk about that later. So he said the system wants your savings. And I say all of that and by any means. He said not to forget the courts silence you from protesting so they can hide what's really going on, extort you and carry on their abuse to others under this false premise that it's in the best interest of the child. Okay? Y'all always have this best interest of the child thing, right? That's how they label it. Oh, best interest of the child. Let me tell you something. They create these best interests of the child factors, right? Really, it's systematic. Because they teach men to be the head of the household, right? Yes. Go and take care of the house, take care of the bills. You go out, you chase the money. But that's a trick. You gotta be out, you gotta be a provider. You have to also be involved with your child's day-to-day activities. Schooling, taking to school, picking up. You got to be daycare, signing out, have your freaking, have the information of your children, school stuff on the class dojo and stuff like that. You have to have this. Look, I got my son and I got this stuff. I ain't got to do it, but it's in me to do, and it should be in you to do as well. Because if you don't know your kid's teacher, you haven't been to a parent conference and all this type of stuff, and then y'all break up and she has a list of things she's done and you haven't done those things, what do you think the judge is going to say? You're not involved in the child's life. Guess what? We're going to keep him like that. Got to be involved. All right? So, and he mentions that he said he's been following this channel. He told me about the channel that he's been following. And I told him I'll check it out. I told him that the best interest of the best interest of the child is a freaking joke. It's actually serious, but they use it the way they use it. It's a joke, okay? Because the kids should have a best interest factors, but it's all against the father. Trust me, I aced it, and I'm actually going to come out with guidelines for. I actually did a series of best interest of factors of the child, but I'm gonna come out with the guidelines of what fathers should do to make sure it's like a checklist. So you check them all off. So guess what? So you'll make sure if you ever go through a situation with a breakup, that you can ace the factors that are brought to the table. So I say, okay, I'll check it out. I say, true, but the system wants alienated children to grow into being alienated adults, which ultimately promotes and continues the brokenness, cash flow, that the evil ones for the evil ones that are in control. And that's the truth of the matter. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. Their system is immaculate. They already know what's going on. They know what's gonna happen 20 years from now. They knew what they were gonna do. They listen. I'm gonna try to. And I'm not gonna get too crazy into it, but at the end of the day, it can stop. That's all you have to do is actually join the platform, subscribe, like the video, comment. Let me know what you think. All right. This is not downgrading no relationship. I want you prepared. I want every single man listening to this to be prepared. I want every single woman to be prepared. That's right. I'm looking out for the children that are coming up. So guess what? I want shared timeshare. Equal timeshare. That's what's going to help the child. Now, there are times when it calls for one parent to have more time than the other, yes. But in those situations, that's what it called for. But in other situations, guess what? I advocate for 50-50 physical timeshare. All right, so furthermore, I mentioned, I figured this information I shared was universal, but was unsure. As men and fathers, we have to get out of our own way and stop believing it can't happen to us. There's a better chance of it happening than not, unfortunately. So I replied with something that he actually said from when the true but the sister wants alienated children to grow. He says, I believe this happened in my situation. I'm the only child and come from a good family, etc. My ex come from a broken home full of trauma. Her siblings all have broken homes for their children at every stage. She has known to manipulate the system. She's not alone. She's not alone. All right? Guys, I didn't make them right. Look, I'm just sharing with you guys how it is. All right? So, next was, he mentioned something that I said part from the chorus. Case in point proves my point. Okay, that's why I meant to reply to that. And he said, I'm very much an activist for men's rights too. I was considered a YouTube channel, but somewhere along the line I came to the conclusion that Western men are stupid and don't work together. Ooh, that's powerful. Hold on for a second. You could spell it out to a guy and he would make the wrong decisions. And it's true. Guys, don't let this be you. See, he mentioned that he admitted that he was ignorant. He didn't think it happened to him, and it did. Okay? And guess what? We as Western men, we don't work together. It was a guy that has 100,000 fathers in his group, in his particular group with a bunch of fathers. I DM'd him and let him know what I did. I'm not about trying to sabotage or get in there and get all his followers and all this and that. I just want to be able to add value and be able to help people. He was like, I don't want your videos. I don't want your videos in my group. I'm like, dude, I'm not asking nobody for money. I'm giving out free information to help fathers. And he was like, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, hey, which is case in point. My point is, don't work together. Don't work together. And that's sad. See, in his group, he wants to have all the good fun. Oh, look at this. Here's with me and my son. This is me and my daughters. But he's not equipping. This is not a knock, but this is how it is. He's not equipping fathers. It's like I'll share this text that I sent with him later. But basically what I told him, I say, it's great to see what's going on in your group, but you got a bunch of fathers that know how to shoot a basketball real good, but don't know how to play any defense. Think about it. I just use the NBA terms because NFL is not in season right now, so I use the NBA terms, which basically means they can shoot like Steph Curry. I mean, they can be great fathers, but when it comes for defense, they don't know how to play defense like Dennis Rodman. And when it comes down to breakups, you need to learn how to play defense like David Robinson and Dennis Rodman and Alonzo Mourning, outside of getting dunked on by Vince Carter. But outside of that, you got to learn how to play good defense. So you just want to look at the good side and never want to pay attention to the possible bad side. So he mentioned that, and I gave it another target. He said my partner now is a year away from being a law, family law, and we talked a little bit more. And let me tell you, at the end of the day, I just want to share that with you guys. Look, I want to let you know, look, hey, at the end of the day, I have your best interest in mind. I'm not in the business of playing around, playing games. And, oh yeah, let me get this last one out of the way. He mentioned I would love to get involved in the whole men's right conversation, but I have been left with PSTD and can't talk about my first 2 court experiences, or I'll go to prison for contempt. So he can't talk about details from them. And I say, wow, really? Sounds like another tactic to silence the truth. Sorry, man. I'm so very sorry. That is the unfortunate truth, like a mofo. When he put, I'm very much for men's activist for men's rights and consider YouTube channel, I replied and said, that's unfortunate truth, like a mofo. I'm still going to give it a go, though. I'm still going to try to help these freaking fathers. In turn, it's helping the fathers, but it's really more so to help the generation of children coming up. Because if we can have more children that grow up with both fathers in their lives, the children could come up with better characteristics and would not be felons, mental disorders, homeless, criminals, all type of nonsense, all the negatives that derive from single mother households and not having a father around. But the system don't want that. So guess what? I can't do it myself, so y'all got to freaking help me. Like, comment, and share the videos, man. That's the only way it's going to happen. Word of mouth, word of internet. So people can lay eyes on it. So I said, I'm going to still give it a go. The key is to inform fathers that it hasn't happened to yet. Bingo! You guys are the gatekeepers, guys, the people that it hasn't happened to yet. So you can share what happens. You might, your homeboy might come to you and be like, man, my old girl tripping. She talk about leaving and taking the kids. So you say, hey, man, slide to Flawless Fatherhood. You don't say to whatever. Tell them to go there. Tell them to press subscribe. Tell them to check out some content. I do have big plans for this channel. I want to start going lives and taking, taking comments and stuff like that off lives and doing it a couple times a week, man. So look, this is a passion. You guys know the times I done laid in bed and cried about this. This is a passion for me. YouTube ain't paying me. I'm not monetized yet. But I would like y'all to subscribe to the show. Guess what? To get my count up and my view time up so YouTube can start paying me. See how that works? Y'all getting the juice for free. Y'all getting the gizzy. So, he said, I hope your messages get out, mate. Good luck with it all. Hit me up if you need anything, even if it's some UK knowledge, etc. And I said, thank you, broski, will do. Look, these are the type of comments I want to be transparent and show you guys. This is important. This is huge. This is the biggest epidemic in the world. Not just America, in the world. If we cure this and we cure it together, and we know how to maneuver as fathers to where if our relationship fails, we know how to secure our children, and they don't come up in broken homes, they'll come up better products of adults than actually we are. If not, they're going to be thugs. They're going to be on the pole. They're going to be carrying a pole, a stick, committing crimes and murders. That don't happen as much in 2-parent households or when the father's around adequately 50% of the time. Flawless Fatherhood, where you hear what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. I hope you appreciated this, guys. Look, you had to get value from this right here. You had to get value. Subscribe to the platform. I appreciate you guys. Listen, I can't thank you a lot. If you hung in, I appreciate it. If the world didn't have this crisis, I wouldn't have this passion if the world didn't have this crisis. So don't blame me. I'm just trying to be part of the solution. And for those that stuck around to the end, listen, this is what needs to happen. Fathers need to learn a 5-step process that I've created. For married fathers, it's a 5-step process. And you can go look down in my videos. It's the Flawless Fatherhood Factors for Husbands. Check that video out, and you'll need all you need to know if you're a husband with children and how to maneuver to secure your children. And if you're a unwed father, this is something that most people don't know. 9 out of 10 fathers don't have this happen. 99% of fathers, unwed fathers, don't have this happen because the system don't teach us. When you have a child, when a child is born, at that point in time, it's just not about signing a birth certificate. Listen, having a child is a business, big business. What you need to do is make sure you go and you establish paternity with the courthouse, with your child's mother, and get a custody agreement, a 50-50 physical timeshare custody agreement. It doesn't matter if you live together or not. As long as you guys are in the honeymoon stages and happy-go-lucky with the child, go and make sure you handle your business legally and get a established paternity and get a custody agreement with the mother. Trust me, it's an easy process. Do not get intimidated by it. I will walk you through it. Actually, I'm gonna come up and give I hate to actually say this, but I'm going to try to motivate some fathers to get it done. That's all I'll say. But getting established paternity if you're an unwed father and getting a custody agreement. If you do that before adversity hits, now it's not just the mother being the custodial parent. The father is also the custodial parent. You're both custodial parents without being married, meaning you have equal rights. Meaning, if you ever broke up, she can't just take the child or have the advantage. Within that custody agreement, where everything's great, you can agree to no child support, where the child lives, responsibilities, insurances, and all that. As long as you two are in accord, when you break up, you won't be behind the power curve. Establishing paternity and getting a custody agreement with the mother within the first 30 days of the child is born. I employ 30 days because that's the sooner the better. While you're in the honeymoon stages of having a child. Flawless Fatherhood 30-day rule is what I call it. Get it done. Secure yourselves. Shackle your kids to you in your lives for the rest of your life. See you in the next episode. Flawless Fatherhood.